"Nice One Cyril" rang through White Hart Lane, a song for a fullback who never chased the spotlight. He was the man behind the chant, the fullback who never missed a shift, and the quiet hero Tottenham fans sang for long after the rest of football forgot. Cyril Knowles wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud, but for over a decade he was one of the most reliable players in English football. Then one day, the headlines stopped. At just 47, he was gone, taken by a silent killer. No final match, no national tribute, just the memory of a name and a song. Nice One Cyril. This isn't just about how he died, it's about how he played, how he led, and how he never truly got the goodbye he deserved. If you believe in remembering football's real legends, not just the ones in the spotlight, subscribe now, because some stories are still waiting to be told properly. May 13th, 1944, Yorkshire. Cyril Knowles was born into a working-class family, raised in a town where football wasn't a dream, it was a way out. His early days weren't filled with scouts or academies. They were forged in mud, in discipline, in doing the job right, every time. He was one of 7 children. His father was a miner. And for Cyril, football wasn't glamour, it was grit. He started at Middlesbrough, but struggled to break through. Then came a lifeline, a move to Tottenham Hotspur in 1964 for just £45,000. To the media, it was a minor transfer. To Spurs fans, it would become unforgettable. He wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the most elegant, but he was dependable, week after week. Quietly excellent, unshakable. While others chased headlines, Cyril earned trust with every tackle, every clearance, every ounce of effort. He came from the north, carried no spotlight, and spoke little. But on the pitch, he began building a legacy, one game at a time. The kid from Yorkshire was about to become something no one expected, a fan legend in London. When Cyril Knowles joined Tottenham Hotspur in 1964, few imagined the kind of impact he would have. He wasn't a star signing. He wasn't there to sell shirts. He was brought in to do a job, and he did it better than almost anyone who came before. Over the next 11 years, he played 402 games for Spurs. He wasn't just reliable, he was exceptional in his silence. He defended like every match was a final. He tackled with precision, read the game with calm, and the fans noticed. While the papers covered flashier names, the White Hart Lane faithful sang his name. Nice one, Cyril. Nice one, son. Nice one, Cyril. Let's have another one. It started as a chant, but it became a movement, a single player, a cultural moment, a symbol of loyalty. Knowles helped deliver trophies, including 2 League Cups and the UEFA Cup. But his greatest moment might have come when things looked darkest. 1975. Spurs were facing relegation. Final day. Cyril Knowles played through injury, held the backline together, and helped secure the win that kept Tottenham up. He wasn't just a defender, he was a wall with a heartbeat. A man the team leaned on when it mattered most. He didn't demand headlines, he earned a song. And that song would echo through generations, long after the man was gone. For a player who gave everything on the pitch, Cyril Knowles received very little from his country in return. He earned just 4 caps for England, all between 1967 and 1970. This wasn't about ability, this was about image, timing, and how English football often chose flash over foundation. At club level, Knowles was unstoppable. At White Hart Lane, he was the first name fans trusted. But at national level, he was a name that got lost in the shuffle, pushed aside for others deemed more attacking, more exciting, more marketable. And yet, he never complained. There were no interviews demanding attention, no public outbursts. He wore that exclusion like he wore the number 3 shirt, with dignity, with silence, with professionalism. The fans knew the truth. They saw the tackles, the leadership, the weeks without mistakes. They knew England had missed something. Cyril Knowles wasn't just another left back. He was a player you only notice when he's gone. And by the time people realized what they had, he was already fading from view. When Cyril Knowles hung up his boots in 1976, he didn't walk away from football. He just stepped into a different trench. No grand farewell tour, no television deals. Just a quiet shift into coaching, because he believed in the game. His first significant role came at Darlington, a modest club far from the glamour of the First Division. But to Knowles, it wasn't about status. It was about shaping players, building belief. He took Darlington to the 4th Division playoffs, reviving a club many had written off. His methods weren't flashy, just like his playing days. He demanded hard work, discipline, and heart. Then came Torquay United, another forgotten team on the edge of irrelevance. Cyril brought them back to life. Under him, they fought, they improved, they mattered again. He was building legacies at clubs most managers wouldn't even take a call from. In 1990, he joined Hartlepool United, hoping for one more chance to lift a team with his quiet fire. But something was wrong. Headaches, fatigue, something he couldn't shake. He was still giving everything to the game, but his body had already begun the final whistle. What the world didn't know yet was that Cyril Knowles was in the final match of his life. In the summer of 1990, while managing Hartlepool United, Cyril Knowles began feeling off. The headaches weren't ordinary, the fatigue was heavy, the sharpness gone. At first, he tried to fight through it, like he always did. No fuss, no excuses, just show up and do the work. But soon, even he couldn't hide it anymore. The diagnosis: a brain tumor, aggressive, inoperable, and unstoppable. Football teaches resilience, discipline, control. But there are battles even the strongest defenders can't win. Still, Cyril didn't want the spotlight. He didn't want pity. He stepped away from Hartlepool quietly, just as he had lived. There were no grand tributes, no national send-off. On August 30th, 1991, he passed away, just 47 years old. The headlines were brief, the coverage was quiet. But in the stands, among the fans, there was silence. The kind that means something, because they knew football had lost one of its good men. He was never the loudest, never the flashiest. But Cyril Knowles left behind something even greater than medals. He left behind a name that lived in the hearts of fans. That chant, "Nice one, Cyril, nice one, son," wasn't just about a goal or a moment. It was about loyalty, hard work, week in, week out excellence. It was about the kind of player who made the team better every single game without needing the camera. Ask the old Spurs fans. They'll tell you what it meant to watch Cyril Knowles play. Not for glory, not for fame, but because he loved the game and respected the shirt. Younger generations sing the chant, but many don't know the man who inspired it, until now. His influence didn't fade. It flowed into the kind of full-backs who defend with intelligence, who serve their team without seeking attention. His leadership style echoed in the coaches who came after him, quiet, demanding, fair. And in every stadium where a player runs hard, tackles clean, and walks off without raising his hand for praise, Cyril Knowles lives on. He didn't chase legacy, he earned it. He didn't have a testimonial. There were no murals, no films, no statue outside the stadium, just a chant, just a memory, just a silence where a tribute should have been. Cyril Knowles gave football everything he had, from muddy pitches in Yorkshire to the roars of White Hart Lane, from overlooked England caps to dugouts in the lower leagues. He served the game with dignity, heart, and humility. But when the illness came and the headlines moved on, Cyril didn't complain. He never needed a microphone. His career was his speech. And yet, he deserved more than a quiet exit. He deserved to be remembered, not just as the man behind a song, but as a footballer who played with honor and a human being who left too soon. If stories like this matter to you, the ones they didn't tell enough, the ones that still echo in the hearts of real fans, subscribe. Because we don't just tell football stories, we remember football souls. Nice one, Cyril. You are always more than just a chant.